Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Eldrazi Tron on the draw for game one against Mill. Not thrilled by that prospect here, but we'll play the Mind Stone, we'll play the map, we will pass. We can K-command the crab next turn. And there's mine, Gemstone Devourer. Swamp. Okay, so it's actually kind of interesting. I am going to cast Pith. So this is really interesting. So I want to get rid of the crab, but I fear that they're holding up a um, a a drown the lock. So if I cast the K command before they crack the land, then they can just hold up drown the lock and keep the crab safe. However, if I play Pithy Needle, that forces them to crack the Flooded Strand, giving me the opportunity to cast the K command. So let's play the Pithy Needle. In response, they should crack the Flooded Strand. In response to that, I will ramp, I will exile the crab. And done. Really, really interesting line there, but I think it's correct. That way we can just get the crab off board. All right, we will pass. So we're going to go after Field of Ruin then with our Pithy Needle. So that way they can't force us to search. Field of Ruin. All right. Field of Ruin is offline, and we pass. There's 4 cards in yard. Visions, they draw a card. And crab. Do you have a land? You do have a land. We do have another K command. Do you have a surgical effect? Alright, we draw. Soul Guide Lantern's really not doing much besides being a redraw. I would love to play this TKS. But I realistically speaking can't, and we can't in good faith crack the map into an archive trap right now. So I think we hold K command until they crack the Flooded Strand. And hope they do it on end step. I think that's probably the best case scenario. Well, I guess we also could play the TKS while their shields are down though, because we need to hit them, like we need to deal them damage at some point. You know what? Fine. We'll play the TKS. The crab will get value, but at least we now can strip a card from hand, apply pressure to the board. We'll yield all. Do they play Consign main? Could be Fatal Push main. That's true. There's the Vexing Baubles. We no longer have an option. Yeah, I think it's a Fatal Push that we're going to get hit with here. Brutal. Yep. Do they have the Adrenal Lock like I think they do? No, the Fractured Sanity though. Okay, that clears the way though. We will pass. This also means we can crack the map next turn, potentially. We'll pass in full. They can mill me for 6 more. Flooded Strand. And they're going to hold. Draw. There's Karn. Do we risk the Archive Trap? I think we do. Crack the map. For a temple. Play the temple. Hold up the K command for the crab. Alright, so they drew into the Archive Trap. Oh no, okay, push, sack, fetch, in response. I'm gonna Scrydraw Exile, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna ramp Exile. Exile the crab. And done. So crab down, spawns on board, 2 in hand, surveil, I imagine. We'll pass in full. And they put 1 card on top. We'll pass 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could play the Sire. Mills 10. 27 left. I think playing the Sire's probably correct. Draw. They played the Verge. Yeah. The last card in hand's the Polluted Delta. Return Sire. And Sire on board. At this point, I will pass. No attacks. Are they out of gas? Plays the Polluted Delta. Paying cost for what? Drown in the Lock. Alright, a bit unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Down to 8. We draw Tezzeret. So we can cast Karn. Cast Karn minus Karn. Yes. We can go for a Walking Ballista. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think we go Walking Ballista. Because with Ballista, we can grow it next turn of Tezzeret, and then plus card on Mind Stone to attack in. And there's a crab. Polluted Delta will mill me 3. Draw. Another mine. Play the mine. Cast the Tezzeret. 0 Tezzeret. I guess we could go EE for 1, actually. We could go EE for 1, get rid of the crab. Yeah, I think that might be right. So we still will go Tezzeret. Minus Karn. Yes. EE. EE for 1, and done. Triggers Tezzeret. Crack EE. Takes out Needle, takes out Crab. Go to combat, swing for 2. So I have lethal on board then. Did we get there? Mills 10, that is fine, we got there. We draw. We can actually play Soul Guide Lantern, triggers, exile a card, map, triggers, Tezzeret ult, go to combat, Tezzeret target, and combat swing for 5. Alright, so that is mill, win for game 1. Let's move to game 2. The mill matchup. So we cut Chalice, Soul Guide, bring in Flute Leveler. Oh, we actually want you. Soul Guide. And... oh, shoot. I just realized something. At some point, I must have been playing the green version with Talismans. And I have a Haywire Mite in here. Ooh. I'm not sure that changes the math too much in a lot of cases, but it's something to keep in mind that we don't have Chalice main right now. Okay. Well, that's a mistake for me not registering the right deck. Ooh, I mean, this hand's not it. We mulligan. I'll keep here. Pitch what? I think I might pitch the map, honestly. And done. And pass. Verge, crab. Well, I'd like some interaction. K command's good. Play the mine. No, I'll play the temple. And pass. And pass. Another crab. Mill 6. And surveil. If they were to go after the mine right now with surgical, that would royally suck, actually. Alawara to yard. No attacks. Draw. Power plant. Okay, at least now if you go surgical mine, it's not the end of the world. Target's TKS. That is fine. Because now we can go mine, command, exile crab with a 3 toughness. And then we can potentially play Karn. So TKS out. Play mine, K command, rampant exile, exile crab, and done. And pass. And pass. Not much else to do right now. Crab, Field of Ruin. Alright, I guess let's see if you have a archive trap. Holding. Interesting. Draw. I'll play the power plant. We could play Karn here. I think I'm actually going to play the Mind Stones, though. Mind Stone? Mind Stone. Because it seems like they're holding up mana. We'll pass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We do have Ugin next turn to exile the crab unless they have Consign. Field of Ruin. I mean, they have to go after a Tron land, right? Yep. Grab a swamp. Mill. Haven't seen my leveler yet. We'll pass. 4 cards in hand. We're afraid of a drown. We're afraid of consign. Consign more than drown, admittedly. They didn't play anything, which means they must have some decent interaction. Okay, we have Dismember. Let's attempt to resolve Karn. There's Consign, which means they could still be holding up drowns. I'm actually going to hold until their upkeep. Paying cost fractured. So now we can do this now. Crab down, we'll pass. Alright. And passing. Did they mill over my other swamp? They have not. Takes out the temple. I'll grab my other swamp. We still have Ugin next turn. Archive Trap. Down to 18. Do you have another one? Visions, draw 3. Yikes. Alright, we will draw. Actually, let's cast this Sire. Sire actually puts a threat on board. Takes Ugin, that's actually fine because we drew into the Sire. Somehow they also have not milled over the Leveler, which is surprising. This now also means they don't have Consign for the Sire 7 that's we drew into. Of course, they could just have a Drown in the lock for it. And pass. Do you have a Drown? Watergrave tapped. And draw. Paying cost for. Targeting Karn. Okay. Well, in that case, we'll play the mine. No reason not to then, since I already know it's in hand. Play the mine, go to combat, attack with Sire. Down to 11, which means if they mill over the Leveler and don't kill us, we win. Glimpse. Seriously, the Leveler's somehow in the bottom 3. God's sake. I mean, not much we can do about that. We attack and we pray. Go to combat. Down to 4. Do we lose? Any mill spell will do. Sire has pseudo hexproof. Opponent's passing. We draw. Was our Leveler really the last card in our deck? We attack for 7. We got there. Draw a card. Was it really the last one? I mean, it had to have been. We definitely brought in the Leveler, right? I'm not crazy. Yeah, so it literally is the last card in deck. Jesus. Alright, regardless, we got there. I will take the win against Mill. We'll be back for match number 2. Alright, we're back for match number 2 on the play for game 1. Yeah, we can keep this. Not my favorite hand in the world. Would love to see a soul land off top of one of these Devourers, but it's at least interactive. We have 2 K commands, X equals 1, X equals 2. We'll just reveal 1 trigger. There's a tower. So this is actually kind of interesting math-wise, but I think we'll grab the tower. Normally, if we're just kind of mathing it out, we actually want to grab the map there, but I think for the sake of these K commands and TKS, we want actually the tower here, because we want to hold up K command X1, I think. And passing. We draw. Play the power plant, hold the K command. We don't necessarily know what we're up against just yet. Could be energy if a slow start, could be Ruby Storm, could be control, could be many things. Shadow Backstreet makes me think it's Blink. The EFM definitely makes you think it's Blink. Okay. So if they hold up 2 mana, we need to hold up the K command X2 for the Felia. Flood Strand fetch. Basic Plains and Overlord of the Belmerk. Nothing we want to exile right now, so I'll pass and put a pause on end step. What did they find? Quantum Riddler. Picks up the red. They don't have a blue source on board yet. Do we want to hold the K Command X1 or play it now? What's the benefit of playing it now? We'll play the TCast next turn. I guess the benefit of playing it now is that if we draw into another soul land, we can cast the Devourer. Yeah, let's do that. And done. Tower, not what we want right now, though. Bottom draw. Vexing Bauble. Vexing Bauble is actually good here. For Solitude. I think we play Vexing Bauble ahead of TKS then. Yeah. Opponent's tinking. What you thinking about, opponent? Always yield. And draw. Ugin. Cast Vexing Bauble. Cast TKS. TKS ETBs. Push Riddler. Christ. EFEM. So they're going to push the TKS regardless. So I think we just get rid of the Riddler here. Alright, Riddler down. We'll pass. And pass. So I'll probably just fetch, then push. There's Pluto Delta. Fetch. Surveil. Yep. And then push, draw card. They should probably have held up. Held priority. And then drawn the card first before they surveilled. Overlord. Triggers. Draw a card. Power plant. I was hoping for a mine, but we'll take it. I will hold and hold the K command. Next turn, I think we land Ugin. We should just win. So I could go Gala Shrine, Shock, Witch Enchanter, potentially. Flicker Wisp. Flicker Wisp, target Overlord of the Balemerc? Yes. And Flicker Wisp EFEM. EFEM targets Tower. I will float. Balemerc ETBs. I imagine they pick up Solitude. That's actually the only choice, yeah. K command. Well, I guess I could have... we should have actually exiled the Flicker Wisp. Missed that line. Just was not paying attention. X equals 3. Yeah, because we could have done in response to the EFEM. Thankfully it works out regardless. Well, that would have been the smarter play. Draw. Temple. Play Temple. Cast Ugin. Ugin exiles Overlord. And draw a card. Soul Guide Lantern, yeah, we would have had that. We'd have been able to exile the... Or we would have been good at that point. Alright. That is fine. They can't EFEM because of Bauble. I guess I should hold if they decide the Witch Blessed. Or Witch Enchanter. Emperor Bones. Emperor Bones targets Overlord of the Balemerc. Yes. Adapt. So Ugin will take 8. 8 down the 1. They'll pick up another Solitude, which are one off of just plain at this point. Picks up another Solitude. No, picks up to Fairy. That's right, I guess they can do that. And attacking. Both at Ugin makes sense. There is Aven Interrupter. Imagine pick up Aven Interrupter. Picks up Trawler. Okay. Down to 1. Trawler. Tapped. Triggers. And draw. Dismember. Ugin, draw a card. Another tower. I mean, at this point, we could just Soul Guide, rip cards out. 3. Exile Bones. Exile Wisp. Always yield. Always yield. I will play what? I think I'll hold the Dismember here and pass. And hold. You know they have to Fairy. And nope, they're gonna play the Fairy. Yep. Okay. The Fairy bounce Bobble. Yeah, that's fine. And Bone scoops it up. All right. Bit of a misplay there, not exiling the Flicker Wisp in response to the EFM. That thankfully didn't cost me, but definitely would have helped if you could have played the Soul Guide Lantern, which would have allowed me to exile their Yard in response to Emperor Bones. Might's definitely out. We will want Flute. And what else for Blink? Yeah, just for Flute, basically. Alright, well, let's run it back. We do have to worry about White Orchid Phantom now, so we do need to play around that. Let's need to sequence our lands correctly. On the draw for game 2. I mean, force them to have it. We'll force them to have it. Reveal Devourer. And we will pass in full. Polluted Delta. Trigger. There is the tower. We'll grab the tower. We unfortunately do exile a swamp. Urza's mine. We could needle for Emperor Bones. I think that's the main thing in their deck that we can needle, right? They do play blue. It could be Frog. Let's go Needle, see if they let this resolve before the blue to Delta. Alright, they yield all, so we'll yield all. You never know if someone just says, yep, that resolves before they fetch. So we'll go Emperor Bones. Emperor of Bones. So Bones is on lock. We pass. And we hope that they don't have White Orchid. Shock and White Orchid. Yep. One can hope, but unfortunately, I think they have like a 33% chance of having it in the opening hand if they have 4 swamp. And draw. Devourer will play the power plant. Surgical. That's kind of brutal. Interesting that I bring in Surgical in this matchup. I mean, I guess it does help it, admittedly. Alright, we'll let the Mind Stone then. We'll pass. So ideally we draw into a Soul Land here on 3. But if they have a way to flicker or blink this White Orchid, we're in trouble. Two down to 18. Tron's offline, we draw. We'll play tower, we'll pass. Blue to Delta fetch. 14. Archive Surveil. Keeps it on top, we'll pass. Land and attacks down to 16. And draw. Land. There's a map. You have an EFEM. I will play the map. Does map resolve? Map does resolve. I will hold, question mark? I mean, if we crack it now, I think we just crack it now, yeah. That way if we draw into another land, we can play it. Eldrazi Temple or Lab is the question. I guess with Lab, at least, we can always bring back what we took. Yeah, I think we go Lab. Lab, tuck, Devourer, and pass. Fetch, Marsh Flats, 13, Surveil. Out of Surveil lands, got a Shrine tapped. And we hold. If we draw into another Lab, we can resolve this Ugin, and that should just be the game, but I think they also have Consigns in the hand that they're holding right now. I'd be surprised if they didn't. Down to 14. So I guess the question is, do we use TKS to lead the way? Or do we try and just Windmill Slam Karn? I mean, I guess if we draw into a land, the Karn's appealing. The Karn is appealing, so is Devourer. Devourer might be better, because it forces a Consign and gets rid of the White Orchid if they don't have it. We'll pass in full. There's Consign as expected. The thought would be now potentially going Karn into Torpor Orb so they can't interact with my lands. Yeah, that would be the idea. Well, the moment they get a blink or flicker effect, we're in trouble. Plays Flooded Strand, attacks for 12. Or not 12, 2 down to 12. End step, draw. 2, 4. Could play Sire. Sire's not bad, but I think we go Karn. I guess actually let's keep that up. Karn. You have another Consign. There's another Consign. We'll, I guess, again, hold on the off chance they have an EFEM, but I feel like if they had an EFEM, they would have used it on my upkeep. Fetch, Flooded Strand, and land, no Surveil. We'll pass. 2, 3, 4, 5. Solitude, Solitude. Target's nothing. That'll be 5 down to 7. Two cards in hand. And I think we just try and resolve this Ugin, right? Flickerous. Flickerous target White Orchid. Yes. So that is lethal on board as it stands. White Orchid ETBs targets what? Return Devourer to hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will not, as we don't have another swamp. Is that correct? We do not. I will draw. Tower. So we have access to 6. We need to be able to block, though. So I will cast TKS. Does TKS resolve? TKS resolves. We take the last card out of hand as a Witch Enchanter. I will pass. We're not dead yet. We'll be at 2. I need a land for Sire then. 1 card in hand. It is Overlord of the Balemerks. Picks up a Riddler. Warps the Riddler, draws 2. You have a way of dealing with the TKS. Attacks for 5, down to 2. And Ephem. White Orchid. Hits Temple. I will not. That Ephem, I think, will end me. Yeah. We draw. Karn does not do it. I will concede. Yeah, that surgical was unexpected. Had it not been for the surgical, we would have had Tron a lot earlier. Oh, cut the gemstone, bring in the chalice, and we'll run it back. And on the play for game 3. Means an early Tezzeret, potentially an early Karn. I'll keep. Reveal. Triggers. I will grab the map. So, what I think I want to do here is flute and immediately go for White Orchid Phantom, to be honest. I think that might be right. Lab. Tuck. Flute. That way I don't have blue for consign. White Orchid Phantom. And pass. And pass. And draw. There's map. I will play map. Fetch Marsh Flats. Do you have a consign? Surveils. Watergrave to yard. We will pass. We could go Karn next turn. Or we can just go Tezzeret. Tezzeret for map. That way we have Tron on 4. End step. Crack the map. Power plant. Chalice. We could Chalice of the Void for 2. Chalice of the Void for 2 will stop White Orchid. And Felia, which I'm currently concerned about. I guess if they have the White Orchid, Felia will just attack through this regardless, so we'll just cast Tezzeret. Minus Tezzeret. For map. Cast map, trigger Tezzeret. Yield all. No Felia. Okay. Trigger Tez, always yield. So next turn we have Tron. And we can play Karn into Torpor Orb. Vindicate. Well, that's just rude. Vindicate resolves. And passing. Draw. Oh, we drew into another power plant. Paying cost. Surgical power plant. You son of a... Yeah, that will resolve. So Tron's offline then. Play mine, cast Karn, minus Karn, yes. I suppose at this point, let's just start stripping them of their lands and try and close out the game. Liquid Metal. I will pass. And pass. For Witch Bless targets. Mapper Flute. Flute. Draw. Ugin. So we can crack the map. We can go Lab. We could go Chalice on 2. The only downside is then Liquid Metal Coating's offline. So I think instead we'll minus Karn. Yes. For Torpor Orb. Maybe I should just grab Torpor Orb, honestly. Last turn. I mean, I also could go Bridge, but no, I think Torpor Orb's correct. Play Torpor Orb. Triggers Tez. Tempted to crack the map here, then. Crack map, go. What? Lab? Tuck Ugin? Crack map. Lab. Lab. Tuck Ugin. Not sure Liquid Metal's worth it. I'll play the Liquid Metal. Trigger Tez. Minus Tez. For another map. We'll go to their upkeep, and then we'll Liquid Metal Coating for what it's worth. Liquid Metal Coating, and pass. Yeah, maybe it's just when Torpor Orb the first place. There's exact reason. So Karn down, Tezzeret's still online. Another surgical. Interesting. Targeting Karn. So Karn is out. Damn Sphere. And that's kind of rude. Draw. Tower. Play tower. Cast map. Trigger Tez. We could Chalice for one. No, we have to tap one more, don't we? Shoot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We played a land this turn. We cast tower, right? I mean, you could Chalice for 1, Chalice for 2. Let's Chalice for 2. Oh no, I guess we can't. Chalice for 1 right now. Goddamn. And Chalice for 1 doesn't exactly do too much here either. In that case, maybe just hold the map. Yeah, we'll just hold the map and I think call it then. There's Felia. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Shoot. Yeah, the surgical effects are actually kind of potent here. They attack. They attack. So Tezzeret down. Blinks the Torp. Yeah, I think I should have just went for Torp Orb first with Karn and then bridge the second one. I think that would have been correct. Because now they can play the White Orchid. There's White Orchid. ETB targets. Return to hand. Resolves. ES. Swamp. End step. Crack the map. Consigns the Felia trigger, son of a... Yep. So now the Torpor Orb doesn't return. We'll crack the map. Doesn't really matter what I grab here, but I'll grab a temple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We draw. There's a K command. K command's actually really relevant here. The question is what we go after. The Felia or the White Orchid? I'm thinking the Felia. Let's ramp, let's exile Felia. And done. Because we can resolve the Ugin, we should just win. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, yep. White, blue, Riddler, draw 2. Black, white, something. The damn sphere's hurting them potentially. Down to 14. End step. Riddler Warp. Return Devour to hand. And draw. Sire. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Triggers. Attempt to exile White Orchid. Did you draw into a consign? You did not. I will gain 3 life, draw a card, play a tower. I will Chalice for 1. Done. Exile target. And pass. And pass, and Ugin might just lock it up. They need a Vindicate specifically. Draw. Draw with Ugin. Sire. Cast Sire, triggers, no targets. We pass in full. Ugin's now online, though the Damsphere will tax what we play with Ugin, admittedly. Casting 5 Solitude. Solitude eats the Sire. We'll take 7 and then send 3 to Ugin. So we'll be up to 12. We'll pass. Attacks. Ugin takes the hit. Attacks me. Curious. Vindicate. Flicker Wisp. Flicker Wisp target Chalice. Flicker Wisp returns Chalice. Ephem. Ephem target Flicker Wisp target Ugin. So they could have a consign in hand. That way they can just leave Ugin stranded in exile. Bobble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. So I think we just cast... Might actually cast Devourer first to exile Solitude. And we'll pass. Flicker Wisp. Ugin's back on board. Ephem. Maybe I should have went for Flicker Wisp. Because I guess, yeah, it returned on my end step when they were tapped out. Yeah, so I should have went for Flicker Wisp in case they rebounded it and then did it on theirs. Overlord the Bailmerk. Picks up the White Orchid. Picks up the Witch Enchanter. Bolt. Tapped. 1 card in hand. Gonna attack Ugin. Yeah, I should have went for the Flicker Wisp for the fact that fly and the fact that they could have done more shenanigans. Bailmerk. Draw. All is dust. I will... Let's see here. Holding up 3. I'm gonna 0. I'm gonna attempt to cast Vexing Bauble. Target Flicker Wisp or Overlord. We'll target Overlord. Triggers. That resolves. 1, 2, 3. And Ugin targets. And go to combat. Swing for 6. Down to 6. Sire has pseudo hexproof now, even through the Felia, unless they have a consign. Five. Riddler. Draw 2. And bone scoops it up. We got there. All right. Well, we'll be back for match number 3. All right, we're back for match 3 on the play for game 1. This hand is kind of ugly. What makes it better? Supposedly a soul land, I guess. Yeah, kind of. We'll keep it then. 8 hits off top. Better on the draw than on the play, admittedly, because we find a lab and we can't play the Mind Stone immediately. Yeah, a bit of a weird hand. But I'm looking down to 6. Down to 5. Well, it makes me feel a bit more confident about my hand, unless it's something like, I don't know, Neobrand, in which case I'm still concerned. Trigger. Soul lands. No soul lands, finds a map instead. We'll grab the map, we'll play the mine, we'll pass. Bloodstained Mire. Fetch, 19. Steam Vent Shock, is this going to be Preordain? Blue-red Preordain. I guess it could be Affinity, question mark? We'll pass. Mountain. Doesn't feel like Affinity. What is this? Double red. Slick Shot. Oh, it's Prowess. Okay. Draw land. Dismember. Dismember will take. So I'm thinking we go crack map for lab. Lab Imprint Devourer. Cast Mind Stone. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need a land. We hold Dismember. In order to save the Slick Shot, they're going to need 2 mutagenic growths, basically. There's a Slick Shot. Okay. 1. Lava Dart. Target me. Yes, that resolves. Mutagenic growth number 1. I'm going to go for Dismember now. And pass. They would need 2 more mutagenic growths in hand, which is unlikely. Okay. Bauble. Bauble target me. I need a land here. Otherwise, the K command's decent. Trigger. Draw. Yeah, I mean, I think we just cast Sire, and that should close things out, I think. Red, blue, EI. Was an upkeep. This is Prowess. Red, blue, EI. Yep. And Bone scooped it up. Alright, yeah, I think with the Siren board, there wasn't much they could do there. I don't think Prowess is even on my sideboard guide anymore. It's that low. Nope, it actually still is here. Let's see. Cut Chalice Needle for Flute EE. So the Might and Needle for Flute EE. And run it back. Alright. K command, Lantern. Another Soul Land would be good. This All's Dust is decent. I'll keep it. Let's see how we play. Islet, DRC. Draw. Ugin's Lab. Ugin's Lab, Tuck, Dust, Cast Soul Guide. So that way we can shrink the DRC. Next turn we have the TKS. Or we can K command. 2. Slick Shot to Yar, or to exile, okay. We could actually tax the Slick Shot with Disruptor Flute, funny enough. We'll take the 1 from the DRC. I think that actually might be my play. Draw. TKS. I'm gonna just Flute Slick Shot. And I guess they could pay the 3 and then they have... Maybe we can actually Flute... No. Actually, you know what? We're gonna go TKS. I want to see what they have in hand. I'm kind of worried about a consign. Bolt, Swift Spear, Violent Urge, Mutagenic Growth. So, what do we grab here? Bolt is representing 5. I don't think they have enough for the Violent Urge because of the Soul Guide. So I think we take out the Bolt, which is representing 5, versus Growth, which is representing 4, actually. Yeah. So, Bolt. And pass. So, Bolt out. We can clear the yard before the Violent Urge. If there are 4 more card types, yeah. Swift Spear. The only thing we could theoretically block is the DRC. Next turn we can K command, get rid of Show Off. I guess actually can we even block the DRC? I guess they could Growth Urge it. Okay, they made the choice simple. We'll take it. Paying costs, there's growth. Yep. DRC surveils. 1 type in yard. So this is 7 down to 12 as it stands. Violent Urge. So trigger, and it won't give them deliriums, so that is fine. 11, 8. 1 card in hand, we can K command the Slick Shot. Tezzeret. They have 0 cards in hand, so we can just do this now. Rampant Exile. And done. So Slick Shot down. 3 blockers on board. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 short of the dust. And we just hold the TKS at this point. Yep, hold the TKS as a blocker. Fetch the Bloodstained Mire. Surveil. Yes. Alright. No attacks. One card in hand. Casting, drawing. Fetching, steam vents, tapped. Imagine no attacks. No attacks. We draw a card. Karn. I will cast the TKS. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we'll play the TKS versus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Cast TKS. Takes the lava dart. Should have played that. And but we'll just scoop it up. We'll take the win. All right. Good stuff. We'll be back for match number 4. All right, we're back for match number 4 on the draw for game 1. We will keep. One will get down to 6. Kept their 6. Played an archive surveils. Solitude looks like Blink to me, if I had to guess. In that case, Ugin Lab, Tuck, Ugin. I really wish this might was a frickin' Chalice, because a Chalice on 1 here wouldn't be too bad for the E-Fems. And we'll pass. Blue Delta passing. Blue Delta fetch 19. Watergrave shock 17 for Riddler draw card. Draw. There's Vexing Bauble. This could also be Goryo's technically, so I think I'm just gonna hold the K command and attack with Might. Down to 16 and hold. And I think if they leave the board empty, we can just Karn into Torpor. And it should more or less start locking up the game. Leaving up 3. Oh, let's go for it. And done. Paying cost for force. Okay, this is Goryo's then. That is what that tells me, point blank. Play the mine, cast Karn. Do you have another force? Son of a... Go to combat, swing for 1. We're in a bit of danger now. Surveil. At least they pitched the Trox, so Faithful Mending to Yard. They can flash it back right now. Frog. Draw. Power Plant. Cast Bauble. I'll say I might just redraw off a Bauble here. Like, yeah, plays around Solitude, Force. Ugh, maybe I should have played that before the Karn, arguably. But I wanted to get ahead of anything. Awkward. 1 card in hand. Maybe just hold the Vexing Bauble? No, we'll crack it. Draw a card. Tower. Okay, well that's promising. See if they want to float the frog. If not, we'll block with Might. Thought sees whiffs, but sees Tron. Down to 11. So I imagine they'll float frog to draw a card to interact with Ugin. Yep. And take 1 down to 19. You draw a card. End step. Return Ugin to hand. And draw. Sire. Cast Ugin. Ugin targets do you have consigned to memory? paying cost. Ephem. Yield all. Ugin lands. 2, 3, 6. Not enough for Sire, so we'll draw a card. Cast the Mind Stone. Trigger targets. Always yield. Resolves, and when I'll scoop it up, we got the win over Goryo's. Alright, so we're going to want Grafdigger's Cage, Flute, cutting our quote-unquote Chalice. Cutting what? Take a look at the sideboard guide. Goryo's. Chalice. That's one of the matchups where I wasn't really sure. I mean, if I had to say, like, what card's probably the weakest here, maybe Sire 7 Death. Yeah, we'll cut a Sire, run it back. Not my preferred. That is Tron. That is a gemstone. I will keep gemstone, pitch, power plant, pass. Gala Shrine, shock, Thoughtseize. Target self. There's a Troxa. Well, that is mildly concerning, I won't lie. I'll pass. And pass to you. Goryo's target a Troxa on 2. You have Goryo's, you have Riddler, Polluted Delta. You play Polluted Delta, so there's one unknown. So we play the power plant. Cast Karn. Minus Karn. Yes. I mean, they go Tormod's Crypt. How does Goryo's read? I mean, no, so they can't... Yeah, so we go Tormod's Crypt, play Tormod's Crypt. Polluted Delta fetch, they go Goryo's, but it will exile an end step. Yeah. Goryo's target. So, Ephem, Solitude, Goryo's, Sink, Consign. Yeah, the Might's supposed to be Chalice. So, yeah, I kind of left that in there by accident. Thankfully, it hasn't been horribly impactful, but it chooses Ephem, Delta, Frog. So, Ephem, Delta... Frog. Tormod's Crypt. Hold. Goryo's trigger. And hold Crypt. Meticulous Archive. You just play the frog. Ephem to yard. Cast frog. Resolves. We'll pass. We'll draw. We have tower. We minus Karn. Yes. I'm thinking I just go leveler here, to be honest. Yeah, I think leveler makes sense. Actually, before we leveler, let me play Vexing Bauble. Play around Solitude. Force. Pitches a Troxa. Leveler. Leveler pops Frog. And we'll pass. And we'll hold. Riddler, Ephem, Delta, Unknown. Marsh Flats. Casting Riddler. Riddler draws a card. Though I guess before that resolves, you should E-Fem it. Yes, that's exactly what they're doing. E-Fem, trigger, draws 2. Then draw a card. Yep. Marshflat's fetch. Down to 14. Swamp. Thoughtseize. Whiff. Down to 12. And passing. Warp trigger. And draw. Well, let's go to combat. Attack. Pop rid. Down to 4. I will crack the Mind Stone. Draw a card. Play the Power Plant. Tick up Karn on a Power Stone. And pass. E-Fem trigger. No targets. Blue. Faithful Mending. And opponent scoops it up. We'll get the win. Solid win against Goryos. We'll be back for match number 5. Alright, we're back for match 5. On the draw for game 1, we will keep, reveal, and pass. What are we playing against is the question of the day. Arid Mesa. Passing. Destiny trigger. Finds what? Yeesh. Finds a whole lot of nothing. I'm tempted to grab this member on the off chance it's relevant. More interaction's not bad. But I really would like a land, admittedly. Grab this member, we'll draw it. Play the temple, play the map, we'll pass. I guess I should probably play the power plant map in case we drew into another Tron land. Probably would have been correct. Arid Mesa fetch. Surveil. Does give me a bit concerned that this is, in fact, Ruby Storm. Windswept Teeth. Maybe we'll pass. Don't think we would see Windswept Teeth and Ruby Storm. Sacred Foundry Shock. Thinking Energy with a slow start. Energy of a slow start would be correct. Funny enough, this Hayward might, if we had a green source, would be good, but we don't. I will... Ooh. Yeah, we should have played the power plant. As it was unfortunate. I will hold. So they play a Johnny. We have Dismember for a Johnny. Surveil. So definitely a slow start here for energy. And passing. Pause on end step. Crack the map for mine. And draw. Play mine. Hold up the K command. Hold up Dismember. I will pass. We could play the Mind Stone, but the reason why I don't want to is because I want to have access to K command X2 if possible. All right. How have I not had any castables here? That's so weird. Arena of Glory. Paying cost. Pyro. Pyro resolves. Pitch 2, draw 2. Double discharge. Okay, so that's just like a really interactive hand. Go to end step. K command X2. And done. See if they want to sack the spawns or sack the tokens. There's Karn. I'm gonna bottom top draw. And draw. Tower. Cast Devour, or Devour target Bombardment. Bombardment down. In that case, I think we cast the Mind Stone. Cast the Might, that will never activate. Unless we have a gemstone. And we'll pass holding up Dismember. And hold. Land 4 in hand. I mean, I guess you could fetch Surveil, try and find Flage on top to then haste with Arena of Glory. That's probably one of your better plays. There's a Johnny. I'm tempted to Dismember it prior to the cat. Dismember. No a Johnny flip in here today. Next turn we have Karn. We can go Karn for what? 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're unfortunately short. Thraven Charm. Thraven Charm does resolve. So, Devour down, a Johnny trigger resolves. If they attack, we'll block with Might. Yep, we'll trade with an elemental token. Go to blocks. That pretty much mitigates almost all incoming damage this way. Trigger 15. If I can draw into a tower, we can clear the board. Draw. K command's also pretty good. I'll say I might just hold up the K command. Because we can ramp Scry draw. We have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just hold up the K command. No reason to really play the Karn as it stands. Because Karn will just get beaten down, and we don't really want that if we can help it. Sacred Foundry. So must have had only 2 Surveil lands. So this is going to be 2, 4, 6, 9, 10. X equals 10. They're hasting something. What are you hasting? Bane cost. Dash Ragavan. Sure. Anything else? Nope. Attack all. K command. Ram Scry draw. And done. Let's see. We don't need lands right now. Map out. Gemstone out. Vaccine Bubble out. Ugin's pretty good. Another K command's good. Not sure I care about TKS. Double Ugin's not necessary. Double Karn's not necessary. Maybe TKS command Ugin. Because Ugin allows us to draw an additional card. So we can go K command, TKS Ugin. Go to blocks. We block, we block, we block, and block. Alright. Ragavan dashes back the hand. And yeah, I think this should just be GG's. Cast Ugin. Ugin Exile. Always yield. Draws a card. Cast TKS. Ugin Trigger. And Bone scoops it up. We'll take the win. Alright. Win for game 1. Let's go to game 2. We will cut our Haywire Mite. I swear if I get a trophy with the Haywire Mite, it's going to be so funny. EE and what else? Ballista. Cutting a Tezzeret. Cutting a Vexing Bauble. Run it back. Alright. Well. So far it's looking good. With them on the play, we do need to worry about Charma, Blood Moon, Molten Rain. So something for us to think about and consider as we sequence our lands. Of course, we do have Tron. I mean, we just might just force them to have it, because they're not always going to. Even if they play probably upwards of like 8 copies of Land Hate between Charma, Blood Moon, and whatnot. Because some lists even run some lists run 2 Blood Moon main. All right. Can we get the 5-0? Almost a perfect league. We only lost one game to Blink. And I think... Was that the one where I didn't grab... Torpor Orb of Karn? Or did I win that game 3? I forget. Regardless, opponent's thinking hard on their sideboard. Trying to think what their sideboard plan is. I mean, of course, if you run 2 Blood Moon main, you probably run like 4-3 Charma. So like bring in 4 cards. What do you cut? Probably the Thraben Charms. Thraben Charms feel like expensive removal. Maybe bring Clarion Conqueror? Potentially. This hand... It's an early Karn, but an early Karn by itself doesn't really do much in this matchup. Dismember is nice. I think the best thing we could find is a K command, honestly. Sure. Reveal. Pass. I'll take a Mind Stone for the Karn on 2, I suppose. Sacred Foundry Shock. And... Ragavan. Ragavan's getting dismembered. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. Draw. Or either trigger. There's the Mind Stone. We'll grab the Mind Stone. So yeah, like I said, this looks at Karn 2, which is okay. And pass. We'll have them go to combat before we dismember. Land. Combat. Dismember. And pass. Ragavan down. I guess the question is, what do we want to grab with Karn? Sacred Foundry, Shock, down to 14. Or Johnny. Yeah. Swamp. We'll actually play the Swamp to play around Charma. So in that case, if I play Karn, what do I want with Karn? We play Karn. What now's the question? We have 5 mana next turn. We could go for a Chalice, technically. We could go for a Bridge. Bridge could help with the Johnny on board. It feels a bit rough. Could go Flute. Flute's an option. There's also the idea of going Phyrexian Metamorph, funny enough. I'm not sure that is worth... I wonder if maybe just plussing here might be the better play, and then seeing what they do after. Let's do that. It's very possible that this just ends in Karn eating 3 plus a discharge, which is okay, but going for anything else feels a little bit meh. So let's see what they have and then go from there. I could still play Molten Rain. Molten Rain would be an issue. Again, thankfully Charmaw is offline. Plains. If we can get this Ugin on board, we can win. So basically, Karn more or less could just read pay 4, gain 6 life. I think that's more or less what this Karn is kind of looking like. At the very least, it was pay 4, gain 3. And they attack Karn, that is. And they do. I kind of forget what the rate is for life gain at this point. Karn's down to 3. Alright, did Karn just read pay 4, gain 6? Do you have a Flage? Do you have a Discharge? Paying cost 4. And Flage. Okay, yep. So Karn more or less just read, pay 4, gain 3. A little bit unfortunate. I think the top deck that we need here is K Command. Tezzeret would be okay-ish, but the biggest thing, I don't want that Flage to hit board. Oof. Alright, well, we'll play the Power Plant, and we'll pass. We'll hold the off chance it's relevant. You have a fetch. If you have a fetch, you have a Flage, which is not ideal, because then you can actually flip a Johnny. No fetch, that's good. So no Flage this turn. Keywords, of course. I'll take the 3 down to 13. Again, I think my best top deck here is K Command, followed by Tezzeret. Paying cost 4. Pyro. Okay, so yeah, we really need one of those two to avoid this Flage hitting board. Do they have a discharge for their cat? Jesus Christ, 3 Flages in the yard. Paying cost, discharge, pride. Ooh, well, they haven't gained life this turn, so that's fine. Draw. Gemstone Caverns. 2, 4, 5, 6. How much damage am I going to take next turn? Let's say they play it correctly and they attack. 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. 8 flip a Johnny, and then an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for lethal. Yes, so I have to crack the Mind Stone here. Let's crack the Mind Stone, draw a card. Map doesn't cut it. We will concede. I guess what I'll do is I'll play the map and see if they see the line before we concede. We're going to put a pause on end step. Put a pause on end step and we pass. Do you see the lethal line? All I have to do is attack in, then escape, pop the cat, flip a Johnny, hit me for 5 for lethal. I guess actually it'll be 6 for lethal. The thing is, I'm not even sure that Ugin saves me necessarily, right? Alright, I think they see the lethal line. Down to 5. Yep, and they'll hit me for 6 with a Johnny. Flage. Flage target cat. Hold up, what? Float power plant. Yeah, sure. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at most. I'll just hold the map. 4, yeah, at most we have 6. I guess we just hold map. Also, that probably triggers. And again, I don't think I have anything that can win here. I'm just shocked I didn't see the line. Karn. Karn cannot go for bridge. I will concede. Okay. Let's go to game 3. We will cut the gemstone for the chalice and run it back. Yeah, one unfortunate part about going for Torpor Orb in this matchup is it allows them to cast Flage for 3 mana and have it hit stick on board. Still wonder if maybe I should have Karn, went for Flute though. Karn for Flute or Karn for Tormod script may have been correct. Not that it mattered in the end. Alright, on the play for game 3. I mean, this is Tron on 3, so unless they have a Ragavan on 1, we should be able to get to Tron before they get to Charmaw. Play mine, map, pass and go. Please no Ragavan on 1. Pass. Windswept Teeth, fetch. 19, Sacred Foundry, shock. What do you play? If it's a Ragavan, I'm scared. If it's not a Ragavan, I'm fine. 17. Okay, that is fine. And draw. TKS. Tower pass. See, I want to play Karn once again. Guide of Souls. Attack with Ocelot Pride. I mean, what am I most afraid of right now? I guess actually what we can do? I have ideas. I have ideas. Okay. So, end step, trigger. Crack map. Grabbing power plant. Resolves. Resolves. Draw. Play the power plant. So we can cast... We can cast Karn. We can cast map. We can cast Torpor Orb. No, do I want Torpor Orb's the question. We also could just plus Karn. But again, it risks it being just a 4 mana gain 4. I guess we could actually TKS. Let's TKS here. I think this might be right. Let's go TKS first. TKS always yields. Season Pyro, Wear Tear, Static Prism. I will take the Static Prism. Play the map. And we'll pass. So next turn we have Karn, and we'll have 10 mana. Elegant Parlor surveils. Arena of Glory to Yard. We hold. This way, even if they draw into a Charmal, we can still have Tron next turn. The only way we really got blown out there is like multiple Blood Moons. Which, that wouldn't be the first time it would happen to me, to be fair. So I think let's play the Season Pyro here. A Johnny. A Johnny is fine. Not ideal, but fine. Triggers. Trigger. So the cats have pseudo hexproof right now. Walking Ballista is in deck. So I can't pull Ballista. So I think my best bet is just to play Karn, pull Extinguisher Battleship. I'll take the 3 down to 16. 3, 6, 8. Triggers. Triggers. Crack the map. Actually, I guess we should probably hold it. Interesting. Yeah, maybe holding the map is correct. I will hold the map. You do have to be mindful that they do have the Wear Tear. We have a second map. Okay. So we will cast Karn. We will minus Karn. Yes. We're going to grab Extinguisher Battleship. Major downside of this is that we will pop our own TKS, admittedly. But I think that is necessary right now. So yeah, Battleship. And at this point, we will hold. Karn will likely die. I guess I could have played the second map, question mark. I guess I could still play the second map. Is there any reason not to? I mean, I guess we're representing that we have something else. I guess they could wear Tear 1. They're going to probably play the Pyro. I'll play the map. We'll hold. The worst case scenario here, by and large, is a Blood Moon. Surveil. I guess actually, not to mention that, but probably Bombardment. Bombardment, I think, kills me, actually. Do you play Pyro? You could theoretically grow the Ocelot Pride out of range of Battleship. If you do play Pyro pitch 2, I guess actually just pitching 1 grows the Ocelot Pride out of range. Don't like that either. Was the Extinguisher Battleship the right choice? I think so. They played the planes. If they play the Pyro, they pitch 2, draw 2. Static Prison. Static Prison targets TKS. TKS draws them a card. This also means they have enough energy to float another card. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, down to 5. They draw into Bombardment, we lose. Or they just float the Ocelot Pride, we might lose, actually. Because 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, down to 5. Yeah, all they need to do here is attack with Ocelot Pride, float it. Push it above 4 toughness, and I think they win. Ah, shoot. That's really unfortunate. How does this read? What order? Destroy target non-creature permanent, then the spacecraft deals 4 damage. Damn. I was hoping I could pop the Static Prison and not lose the TKS. I mean, we're going to yield all here. So pitch the Wear Tear, and it looks like an Arid Mesa. Yep. Always yield. So you attack. You have to send 3 to Karn. Okay. So you send 3 to Karn. What you need to do is float the Ocelot Pride. Yeah, because of how it reads, when it's spaceship or spacecraft enters, destroy target non-creature permanent, period. Then this spacecraft deals 4 damage. So it would destroy, then pop. So we don't want to hit the Static Prison for the TKS, unfortunately. I mean, they're tapped out, lands played. We'll pause on end step here. Like I said, all they need to do is send 3 at Karn, the rest at me, and put more counters onto Ocelot Pride. If they do that, they win. Or maybe not win, but we're definitely in a rough spot if they do that. I mean, we could try, but I'm pretty sure that if we do that, they just end up drawing a card. Okay, they did the right thing. Mm. Down to 8. Karna's down. We're going to crack the map. And then yield to all. We'll grab a tower. Triggers. Always yield. So now they have a 2-turn clock on us. Yield to all. Alright, we draw. Cyrus 7 deaths, while good isn't enough. So yeah, we have to play the battleship. Alright, well, I'll test it and see if hitting the prison gives us the TKS back before the 4 damage. I'm pretty sure it would, but we'll see. Enters. Targets. Yep, I was correct. I was correct. Unfortunate. But I guess good for science, question mark. Yield all. We take the flage. We have to take the flage. Yeah, we have to take the flage. They draw a card. So I was correct. It did incidentally work out. I will point that out here. It did incidentally work out. No, there was nothing to stack. I need to make that clear. There's no separate triggers on Extinguisher Battleship. It is all part of one trigger resolution. I did not click buttons to stack, so there was nothing to stack. Oh, I guess I could have. Yeah, I could have. I stacked it wrong for the TKS. I see. Yeah, no, stacking the TKS triggers, you're correct. I did mess that up. The flage was like, we needed to take the flage, so it was a moot point. Whatever else they drew, it doesn't matter. But yeah, we're in trouble now because they can dash a Ragavan, put us the 1. Arena of Glory. Oh no. So Ragavan, 1 unknown. I guess it would have been good to know what it is, admittedly. Boy. Pain cost hasting what? The Ragavan? Are they Ragavan and something else we die? Okay, we're at 1. We died of Flage. We died of Discharge. We died to Bombardment. Down to 3. Down to 1. Ragavan triggers. What does Ragavan find? Tezzeret. That is fine. I don't think you play any artifacts. Second main. Do you want to just cast the Tezzeret? Oh, son of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, freaking hell. Yeah, Blood Moon. That was the last card they may have drawn off the TCAS. Again, it would have mattered because we need to take the Flage because otherwise we're dead. But it might not matter now. What do we do here? has a sorcery, so we couldn't have done that. What do we do? Crack map, grab swamp? No, that's not going to do anything of value. I mean, it thins our deck, I guess, but actually, if we play Karn, no, we don't have enough there either. Do we have an out? I don't think I do. I'll crack the map to thin. I think I'm just dead. The Blood Moon, I think, will get me. Blood Moon. Pride triggers. Because, yeah, even if we find EE to clear the 1 mana values. No, EE's not an out because we can clear the 1 manas, but not the tokens. The tokens still kill me. Ballista isn't enough. We draw Chalice way too late. Again, we have access to 3, 5, 6 mana, 1 short of the Sire. The Blood Moon got them. The Blood Moon got them there. I mean, on one hand, if we hadn't gone for the TKS Static Prison, we would have died to Flage. So, saying that we could have won for a land wouldn't have mattered. We still would have died. Yeah. Unfortunate. And I think we didn't have the option to play Sire instead of Battleship. I don't think that was a choice either, unfortunately, because we were at, what, 5? We were at 8 at the time. And so at most we'd gone to 15. 15 taken probably, like, I think 11. Something like that. Maybe the Sire was the play. Maybe. I'm trying to think of what the board state looked like, but it's slipping now. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. We do not have any outs that I can look at here. Again, we have 4, 5, 6, 1 short Sire, which means we died to the current board state. That Blood Moon ended me. We'll concede. Brutal. Brutal. Yeah, if I played the Sire, we could have blocked 5 damage in the air. I just don't remember how much. I guess we couldn't even block that because the Johnny. No, yeah, I don't think that would have made any difference either. Yeah, the Johnny in play kind of stops me from that. Because even if we block the 5, they had the Flage in hand, we were at 8. So we would have went down to 5. Yeah, the Johnny would have killed me. Yep, that is right. So, I mean, them drawing into the Blood Moon killed me. Unfortunate. But it is what it is. With that being said, that there will be the end of tonight's YouTube video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button, comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed and mistakes that I made, or any general feedback, be much appreciated. For as much that I hope you all learn from me and with my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached the point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button as we continue to grow this channel. However, if you are interested in watching these recordings live, you can do so over on my Twitch. I am live Mondays through Thursdays at 10 p.m. CST and Fridays through Sundays at 8 p.m. CST for the weekend challenges. Otherwise, if you do want to watch these early or ad-free, you can do so over my Patreon. That being said, though, folks, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye!